Hey loves, how are you today? I wanted to bring you some information. Um, so I'm gonna go ahead and preface this before I even get started. Y'all know how I do. I'm not good at real good at introductions, but this one might require one. I just want to say I'm not a psychologist, not a doctor. I haven't even really studied psychology, so everything I'm about to tell you is information from my experiences, just, resources that I've gathered, read from, and again, experiences that have brought me wisdom and methods that I learned along the way to heal myself and to stay in alignment with my true authenticity. Okay, today's topic, y'all, is about titles, identity, and transgender, all of this stuff that we're going through right now in this time and in this dimension where we're at and what we're seeing and what is happening. And so, where to start? First of all, I am not anyone's judge, and I don't judge you, and I would recommend that you don't judge me, because if you do, you might end up living my life. And has not been a walk in the park, and I'm sure that none of you have had an easy life. We've all been bullied, misidentified, misunderstood. There's many things that we come across and in this journey, and it took me a while to realize that, everything was not sent to me to tear me down, but instead to build me up. And, I had to take that on, that perception, that perspective, okay? Getting out of the box is a good thing, because you're going to see things in a different light than what you were taught from your, the time of birth until 8 years old. That's a part of you that was ingrained inside of you that you carry along with you. And not only does it contain, your parents' habits and energetic field, it contains their parents on both sides, all of the siblings, if there were any, so the aunts, the uncles, like, there is a collaboration of energy that is balled up inside of you. And that generations are big, and we are here to, if you're watching this, then you resonate with me, and you're here to change the bloodline. You're a chosen one, and you probably feel like the most loneliest, misunderstood one of all, and you probably are, but for good reason. So I'm here to talk about just some things that happen in my life and the way that I've kind of harmonized them together to work for me, and so that I could create a more healthy view of the people around me, and the judgment that I do get, it can just bounce off of me, because, those things are not, they are their opinions, and it's okay. I can accept that's the way they feel, and that's how we should all move along. So first, let's go over titles. I feel like a lot of the reason that we're going through some of the things that we're going through as adults, and some of these children who are being raised up under our GOV are I think that we have seen what that template has created. And it focuses more on the patriarchal rulership, and that means, you know, the man is in control. And to a degree, that's true. But to another degree, it's not a fact. It's not completely true. And so we start labeling titles, right? You're the mama, you're the daddy, you're in charge, you're the CEO, you're the manager, you're the brother, the sister, the aunt, the uncle. You are, like, we give everything a label to identify it, right? And so now we have come into a crisis with, you know, this generation coming up behind us who are wanting to change their whole identity. I mean, some of them are identifying as animals, you know, and then there are males who are identifying as females and females who want to identify as males. And I will say energetically that's probably correct, but in the physical, it's not. Because when you came here, you came with your designated body parts and the chromosomes, and that will never change. So here's my little story. You wonder why I can even talk on such a topic. Well, let me just share with you. I was born in 1974. Okay? Have I got any 74 babies out there? Hello. So when I was young, I mean, before I ever went to public school or had any real influence of other people's influence on me, I was determined and tried to shout my mama down that I was a boy. And I tried to do things as a boy. And she was just like not having it. She cut it off at the get-go. She was like, girl, you are not, just forget about it. You know what I mean? So there was no one. So what I did is I just hung out with boys, and I made guy friends, and you know, I was very competitive. So, you know, if there was a tree in the neighborhood, well, I would climb the top of it. And you know, when I ride bikes, I will race you until my legs fall off. You know what I mean? Like, I was always really assertive, forward, ready to go. And that is a man's energy. They are very assertive, ready to go. And, you know, even in my teenage years, my 20s, and then my 30s, you know, I experimented with things. And even, and Mama, if you're watching this far, it's okay that this happened, but I mean, it's just to prove a point. You know, I would wear a ball cap and work out or whatever, and, you know, she would say that I look like a guy or a dyke or whatever. And, you know, that didn't help matters any, because here I was like, I'm trying to be a girl like you told me to, and now you're telling me I look like a guy. Like, so confused, okay? And even in high school, I know for sure I didn't get mistaken for a guy, because I was very developed, and but I got bullied a lot, right? So I did not know how to exercise either orientation, because as a masculine, you know, naturally I was drawn to masculine relationships. No drama. I didn't really like drama. I tried to stay away from things like that, but somehow it found me. And so during, you know, this time in my life, or these times in my life where this masculine power tried to take over my femininity, um, you know, it wasn't as much of an issue back then because people didn't discuss this topic. But now it's out there and everybody's talking about it. And where it comes from. Is it genetic? Is it, to me, it's energetic. And the reason I say that, I mean, there's several reasons I say that. One is because of my birth chart. And if you don't, look at your birth chart, I highly recommend that you do, because that's your timestamp when you entered in. And those are those planets up there are energetic influences on your, what is made up of here. That part of the universe that you captured when you came into Earth, that's yours. You were fearfully and wonderfully made. You were perfect by design. And, we talk about all of these identities, titles, guys, girls. It don't even matter. Don't even matter. What matters is, what are you teaching? What are you leaving behind? What are you helping? Doesn't matter what you show up as. Just show up authentic. Show up as yourself. And you will draw those to you who are for you. And, I'm weird. Everybody's weird. We all got our weirdness. We all do. And, that should not be picked on. That should not be bullied. That should be celebrated, that you're not like me. Because if we are a reflection of what's inside of us, on the outside of us, you should rejoice that you carry those parts of you. It makes you human. It makes you a part of the experience. Don't be so close-minded. People, goodness, are so defensive these days and so offended by everything. If I got offended by all the names that I was called, the things that were said about me, if I continued to stay in that, I could be no good to anyone. Okay? I can only be a victim mental patient, basically. And, you have to repurpose yourself instead of focusing so much on what you look like to the world. What are you letting them see? What part of you, like, do you go seek revenge? Are you petty? Do you do the dirty work, or do you let the spirit do the dirty work? And, just things like that. When words come out of your mouth, are you hurting other people? Are you helping them? Are you edifying them? If you want to carry any kind of identity, carry authenticity, and teach people from your hurt. Teach people from your pain. It hurt my feelings when my mama told me. It made me want to fight with her, because I was a boy. I was determined, even with being a girl, female body parts. And, nobody wants to listen to the truth. They just want to stand in what they believe, but there is more to it. It goes deeper than just, oh, well, I feel like I'm a girl on the inside, so I'm going to look like a girl and dress like a girl. Well, dress how you want to, okay? But understand the truth is the truth. And that has to be told. So if you have to live behind something that you are hiding yourself, then that's not authentic. And, if you're going to be trans, then, let people know. I'm a guy dressed up as a girl. This is how I roll. And they will celebrate with you. But whenever we come into relationships or meeting new people, if they're not like us, then we know automatically or feel that we won't be well received, and people can feel that energy outside of us. Okay, they can feel that you're holding back, and your spirit man knows it. And so, because of that, it strips you of your authenticity and it strips some of theirs when, no, it don't matter what you look like or dressed up as. It really don't. It doesn't matter what you identify as. It doesn't matter what title you hold. It's how are you using those things to express yourself authentically, okay? From your true authenticity. You know, after a lifetime, a battle of, even in relationships, being more of a masculine power, whenever I'm supposed to let, the man be the masculine, and then, here I am with my assertive self. I have my own challenges too, and I have to learn how to balance that energy. So, how I found my authenticity is probably a whole nother video. My biggest point here is that, even though we want to identify, like even me as a mother, that was stripped. It wasn't stripped from me, but there was a title crisis. Let me call it a title crisis. And, someone else was fighting for my title, but it never took away from the fact that I had the actual title, but someone else wanted to have my title. That's not authentic. You are more powerful standing in your own power. You are more magnetic standing in your own power and your own authenticity and loving who you are. I have not always loved this hair. This hair used to be my biggest problem every day. And until I learned to love it and let it just be what it is, it's curly, and I just had to let it be. I went through a phase of not wearing makeup. Well, I used to wear makeup all the time so I wouldn't be mistaken for a boy. Now, and then I went through my awakening phase where, to me, that stuff is poison and it ages your skin. So, I went through a phase of learning how to make my own skincare and use more natural, cosmetics. But, I don't use foundation or anything like that. But I do use Kajal, I guess it's called. But, it's enough to define and accentuate, and I don't have to overdo it. And whereas before I felt like I had to overdo it to prove, that, I was the mother, I am a woman, I had to throw myself out there, and it's very repelling. And also, a woman being a lot in her masculine is very repelling as well. So the balance in there is, just making sure that you're not working from your trauma, that you're not living in your trauma, that you are coming from a space of, your true self, your true authenticity. What person don't you love that comes to you and is just themselves? That is a magnetism in its own. And, being open and not being so closed off because you're going to be judged or whatever. If someone judges you, God help them. God help them. I don't know where your Saturn is, but if you find out where your Saturn is, that's where it's going to hit them for hurting you or judging you. And they might get to experience your life. And I would not wish my life on anyone. they were my experiences. I want to share them with you, but, if your experiences are paralleling things, that I've been through, then you will resonate with this very strongly. You'll resonate with this message. So, let's see. How are you showing up? Are you being empathetic? Are you being compassionate? Are you, of course, you have to think of your own needs. Yes. But at the same time, there is a way to blend those two things together. And I'm not saying I'm perfect at it at all, but I've embraced it, I've accepted it, and I feel like I don't have to accentuate either side of myself. I feel like that I can just come as I am and be who God made me to be, fearfully and wonderfully made. I have the perfect alignment. I don't have to have everybody to like me. You don't have to have everybody to like you. You just need who God has designed and orchestrated for you, for your highest good, and the highest good of all should always be on the forefront of your mind. What's good for everyone involved. Open, honest communication is power. It is power. If people cannot take your open communication, and then, you know what? Let those people go, because they're not your people. Let them go be people with somebody else. And, don't attach to wanting to be accepted so much, because accepting yourself and accepting who you are, that's your true power. There's nothing sexier than your understanding of who you are, understanding your worth and your value. And it comes through hard lessons. All are worth it. They're all worth it. And my only advice is I would not take any drastic measures. A lot of times, we can make decisions based on emotional things, but just be careful of decisions that you make in emotional trauma, because you can get some really long-term effects, and you have to live with it. And those are just consequences, and you can't change those, but you can look at it from a higher lens. You can get out of the box with it, and you can evaluate it and look at yourself, because no matter what your body looks like, it's the message that's on the inside of you. What is your truth? How are you going to let what has happened to you that has caused this trauma to you, how are you going to let it heal and transform those who are around you? Okay? That's what I want you to take from this. How are you going to let it change you and, heal you and heal others around you? Okay? That's all I think I wanted to say about this. Other than I love you very much. I know the trials and the tribulations. I speak from experience, as I told you before. I am not a judge. I'm not here to judge anyone. I accept you, and, in your true, authentic form, you are more powerful. Not that you aren't powerful, come as you are, but we power up because we become more enlightened. We get on top of the box and look around it and, see what's out there. And, just continue to climb. Just continue to keep your head up. Other people's words are just their words. Build a barrier around yourself that no one can knock down your value. No one, no matter who tries to come against you, they cannot penetrate what you know is who you are. And, are you hurting anyone else? Are you speaking lies on anybody else's name? Are you spreading dirty rumors? Are you trying to, create drama? Are you petty? Are you out there trying to hurt other people because they've hurt you? Or are you trying to sit there and figure out how to get back at them or to get them before they get you? No. That's all that matters. What is going on in your mind and your heart? Be a pure light source. Be empowerment, and that's where you'll find your power above all of the titles and your identity and what you look like, because it don't matter what you look like. When somebody shows up and they have power, you know it because you feel it. You can sense it. So that energy never lies. And I'm going to close here. Like I said, I'm not good with introductions or goodbyes. So, as I like to say, to be continued.